Hi, I'm Christina, and today I'm going to talk about my most anticipated books of 2025 for the second half of the year. So let's get straight into it. The first book is being released in May, and that is My Friends by Fredrik Backman. So this will be my fourth book by this author. I have also read Beartown, A Man Called Uva, and Anxious People. I absolutely loved Beartown. It's one of my favourite books of all time, and I absolutely loved A Man Called Uva as well. I wasn't so keen on Anxious People, so I'm really looking forward to this one because he really writes characters well. He really writes a story that packs an emotional punch, and he nearly always makes me cry. So I'll tell you a little bit more about this book. So we have one of the most famous paintings in the world, and in the very corner of the painting there were three figures sitting on the end of a long pier. And our main character is an artist, and she's going to find out the story behind the three people in this painting. The next book is also being released in May, and it's called The Memory Collectors by Dete Meserve. Now, I have never read from this author before. I just thought the concept sounded really interesting. So the book poses the question, if you could spend 1 hour in your past, what would you do? And four strangers from California are about to find out, and then rather than spending just 1 hour in their past, they are actually stranded in their past. And I just thought that sounded really interesting. The next book is also being released in May, and that is The Emperor of Gladness by Vuong. So I read On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous, and it was written so beautifully. I found it really difficult to read emotionally. It had really heavy themes, but it was written so beautifully. And this story sounds similar in the fact it's going to pack an emotional punch. So it starts, and a 19-year-old is standing on the edge of a bridge in Connecticut, and he is about to jump. And then he hears a voice from across the river shouting, and the voice turns out to be a woman, and she is an elderly widow, and she is succumbing to dementia, and she convinces him to take another path. And then we follow these two as they kind of develop this friendship. And again, if it's anything like the last book, it's going to be written absolutely beautifully, and it's going to destroy me emotionally as well. So moving into the month of June, and we have Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So this will be my sixth book by this author. I have absolutely loved all 5 books that I've read by her, and I gave all of them 5 stars. So I have read The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, Daisy Jones and the Six, Malibu Rising, Carrie Soto is Back, and One True Loves. Now, I just love the way that she writes characters. I always feel so emotionally connected to them, and all of her books always pack such an emotional punch, and she nearly always makes me cry, or at least tear up. And yeah, I just love the way she writes people. She's really skilled at writing characters. So this one is set in the 1980s space shuttle program, and our main character is a professor of physics and astronomy at a university, and then she finds an advertisement for the first female scientist to join NASA, and she applies, and out of thousands of applicants she is chosen, and then she starts her training. So yeah, I'm really excited for this one. I have already pre-ordered it. Also being released in June is Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. So I've started reading The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, but I haven't finished it yet. So this is going to be my second book by this author. And we have 3 main characters that we are following, and they're in 3 different centuries. So the first woman is called Maria, and that's set in the 1500s in Spain. And then the second woman is called Charlotte, and that's set in the 1800s in London in England. And then the third woman is called Alice, and that is set in 2019 in Boston, America. And it says it's a story about love and about rage. So really excited to read that one. Now moving into the month of August, and I have Katabasis by R.F. Kuang. Now I've yet to read anything by this author, but there's already a couple that I want to read. I'm most probably going to start with Yellowface if it isn't this one, and it's just because there's so many books I want to read and so little time. So in this one, the premise sounds really, really good. We have two graduate students who must set aside their rivalry and journey to hell to try to save their professor's soul, obviously at the risk of their own souls. And I just really like the concept of that one. Now, if you've read any of the books by R.F. Kuang, definitely let me know what you thought of them down in the comments below, and let me know which one you think I should start with, because there's already a couple that I have my eye on. Now, moving into the month of September, and I have The Impossible Fortune by Richard Osman. Now, this is the 5th book in the Thursday Murder Club series, and I have read all 4 of the previous books, and I've also read We Solve Murders, and I've enjoyed all of them. I always have so much fun when I read Richard Osman's books, and the Thursday Murder Club series is my favourite murder mystery series of all time now. I really, really enjoy them. I love his characters, I love his humour, it's really good, quintessentially British humour, and I always just have so much fun reading them. That is the word I would use to describe his books, and that is fun. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading the latest instalment, and it'll be really nice to get back to this cast of 4 characters that I really, really, really love. And I've already pre-ordered this one because I'm really excited to read it. So out of all of these books, I would say my most anticipated are the Taylor Jenkins Reid and the Richard Osman one, which is why I have pre-ordered those 2. All right, so that's all of the books I wanted to talk about that I am really, really looking forward to. Obviously, there's so many more books being released. So if there's any books here that I haven't mentioned that you're really excited to read, please let me know about them down in the comments below, because I would love to add even more books to this list. All right, thank you so much for watching. Please do like the video if you've liked it, and please do subscribe if you'd like to hear more of me talking about books. I'll see you in my next one.